This is Alec with Get Shit Done channel, where again I'm gonna tell you how to get shit done. And today I want to talk to you about hard choices versus easy choices. So there's a very interesting saying that I learned. Actually, want to give this person a credit, but I don't remember. Maybe you can comment below and tell me who the person was who said this. But hard choices, easy life. Easy choices, hard life. And it kind of stuck with me in thinking about this phrase, and that is very true, right? So when we make easy choices in our life, it usually leads to our life being hard. Maybe not right away, but definitely within a certain period of time. And it goes the opposite when we make very hard choices. We usually get much easier life afterwards. So what I mean by that, I want to tell you a personal story of mine. A few months before our son was born, he's 13 now, so we're going back years ago. Me and my first wife had nothing at the time. Where actually, as I'm telling you, I remember how it happened. We're laying on the bedroom floor. We had no bed. We had a 1-inch mattress that we're using as our bed, and we knew that she was pregnant. And she hits me with this information. Said, "Listen, I'm gonna go outside of the country, and you'll never see your son again." She definitely didn't want. She didn't want to have a birthday father or holiday father. As you wish, right? So I was faced with the choice. The easy choice was to say, sure, I was young, I had nothing. I started imagining how the life is going to be. And we were actually, the issue is that we were getting a divorce at that time. So that's right at the probably worst possible moment that she was hitting me with this choice. And for her, it was probably the easier choice as well. She could go back to where she was born. She would be comfortable. She would be next to her family that wanted her to come back, or she could live here, with the guy that she was divorcing, and she had to put all her trust in her newborn child to, into my hands. So I thought about it very deeply. She didn't kind of give me any time to think about it. I started running my personal life, and unfortunately my father wasn't present in my life almost at all when I was growing up until I was 21. So I started thinking, hey, is this kind of what we have in our family? Is this destiny put for me, or here's the crossroad where I can change my destiny and not to repeat what happened to myself? And like I said, of course, it was easier to just say, sure, go, and I could just, start fresh. So instead, made a very hard choice. Probably was scared. I would definitely wouldn't admit it. Probably inside myself was very scared. I said, no. Can you please trust me? I'll do everything that I can, to support you guys. I'll work 10 times as hard. 13 and a half years ago, this is the, best decision that I've ever made. It was definitely hard. If you ask me, was it hard? Of course it was hard. It was the first child. We didn't know what to do. As I keep telling my son sometimes, there's no parenting school. Maybe there is, I don't know, I'm just saying, but there's not like you could take a class on parenting or go to college to be a parent. You have 9 months to mentally prep, financially, morally, and then as your child comes out, then that's it. The very next day your life changed. So as again, I'm prepping to talk to one of our guys that is, facing a similar situation. It's definitely the best decision I've ever made. All of the memories, that I have or that I made with my son, they're just invaluable. You can't put a price on them. On the other hand, you have a situation where you could just take easy choice, go to the bar with your buddies. You gotta be, as I always tell you guys, be truthful with yourself. If you're a piece of shit, that's probably what you're gonna do, and that's fine. Not every person is a good person, right? You got to look deeply in yourself and think about it. Will this haunt you? Will you think about your kid? How's your kid growing up? Is he well? You'll probably be curious. If you think for any second that you will be curious how your child is doing, you have to make the right call, right? If you don't care, it's fine. There's 8 billion of us here. Then you make the easy life. You go party with your buddies. You go to the bars. As again, my favorite guy, Dan Pena, said, you'll probably be still at the same bar with the same buddies, right? Because you make easy choices. They're just only gonna bring you to the hard life. It's on the surface going to be a very easy life, but in reality, it's going to be a very hard life. And if you look at it, pretty much anything that you do, anytime you face a choice, right? Especially with us, we do some of the hardest construction trades. I always tell my guys, if you something looks easy, not right. It's not going to be up to code, right? But if something's hard, at the end, it's going to be right? It's going to be the easy life for the company if you make a hard choice, and if you make a right choice, and that will be leading to, yes, you're mentally, physically struggling for a little bit, but on the other end, at the end of the tunnel, there's a good light. Company will be prosperous. That's what I've seen. That's really what I've seen. That any time I face or my company faces a decision, if we make a hard decision that requires of effort from many people, right? No one's ever happy. No one wants to do more work, but then it leads to easier life, down the road, versus if we make an easy choice as a company, as a group, or any of our guys make that easy choice. It's usually leads to much harder life for other people. So I wish for all of you, when you face that choice, make the hard choice. You might not see the results right away. Again, we're talking 13 and a half years after I made that choice, I'm seeing the great benefit. But again, that's probably the best choice I've ever made. That's the choice that made me most proud of myself. I only told a few people, again, you're not gonna go brag and say, well, I was facing the choice of being with my kid or not being without it. Of course, that everyone will say, yeah, sure, you didn't think of you're gonna pick your kid. So that's what it is in the conversation. Let me brag about it today, that I'm happy I made the choice, and I hope when you face this route, you'll make the hard choice well.